So the first part you talked about IP, right? And then you said this is the Wild West. That's usually what I say too. And what was the Wild West, right? And what does this look like? Where it was this land and also the frontier, right? So especially in the United States, right? Which I think is kind of where that came from. When we were moving westward and had westward expansion, we didn't exactly know how far we could go before we started to hit another body of water, right? And that the continent would just end. And we didn't know what we were going to encounter along the way either. We may have been able to guess and predict based on our past experiences, but we didn't quite know. And so then when we go into the Wild West, right, and the frontier, it would be some lawless land, your cowboy ethics book back there, right? What did that look like? Well, you would go and then you would establish some sort of town, right? But then it would be lawless. And then you needed to bring a sheriff in town and you're like, hey, guess what? We need to put some law and order here. We need to put guardrails. We need to put governance in place so that people feel protected. And now we can move forward. And then we do it in the next place and the next place and the next place. And then we get to the end, right? We're not at the end yet. And again, we don't know where that end is going to be. So what does this mean? It means we're learning as we're going, right? That famous phrase, we're building the plane as we're flying it. So we don't have established IP laws and regulations in place yet because we still need to figure out how that's evolving, what this means, right? What the implications are for that. And then we have appetite that's different in different parts of the world, where Europe is a little bit more regulation heavy and they like to get in front of different things. So they did that with GDPR. They did that with the EU AI Act. America is different. We're a more wait and see approach, which honestly, a lot of the world is a more wait and see approach where we say, let's see how the technology is being used and adopted. And then we're going to put laws and regulations in place to make sure that we're managing that. Neither one is right. They're just different approaches. So that's on the IP side of things.